You think after 10 years of doing this, I'd have a few things to say, right? And by this, of course, I mean 3D. I've experimented with Blender in more ways than I ever thought I would. So much so that I feel bold enough to give advice on certain things. Therefore, to wrap up this month's conversations around 3D series, here are three things I'd suggest a beginner look into before even thinking of downloading Blender. Sit back and listen. Number one, is 3D for me? Let's be real, it's 2026. Many of you only considered downloading Blender or any 3D program out there because you heard from someone or a random short reel or talk that 3D content can generate passive income for you. You've equally seen multiple channels focused on 3D content that appear to be doing well. And if there's anything survivors in dying economies love most, it's the idea of earning while doing nothing. Except 3D, as you can imagine, is not nothing. For perspective, just to achieve the tiniest bit of realism or stylization in something like animation can take anywhere from hours to days to months of your life. These are months you cannot get back spent on producing only a few seconds worth of content. What sustains you in the moment the projects feel stale, which they certainly will, is the drive. The drive for 3D looks like reopening the same file for the 17th time because the lighting still isn't right or one of the finger bones doesn't look right. Something minuscule can have you pulling your hair out for weeks, but what gets you through is the drive. Do you have that drive? If you so much as doubt you do, then please pause here and consider another from the dozens of other paths to cash out there. Number two, what do I need? A good laptop or PC would help. In fact, if you want any shred of time saving in your workflow as a 3D artist, then a great laptop is practically a necessity. Seriously, don't think you can sneakily render scenes on your work laptop. It will not end well. Get yourself a laptop that comfortably meets the requirements on Blender's system requirements page. You don't want to be the person who swore they'd only make low poly art, then in the future wants to go into cinematic realism. It's best to have a PC or laptop that can comfortably do either. So, if they recommend 16 gigabytes of RAM, get 32 or even 64 if you can. Of course, I'm well aware that getting any laptop in this economy is no small feat, not to mention a high quality laptop for that matter. But the truth is, unless you're ready to battle constant repairs and possible house fires, a quality laptop or PC is an absolute must for Blender and 3D in general. Number three, where to begin? This is the part where you need to pick a field. It might sound daunting at first, given the endless number of choices you have, but think about it this way. What is the picture in your head that you want to replicate in 3D? If you want to make nice looking objects and scenes as still life renders, your path is modeling. Start with modeling related tutorials like the famous donut tutorial by Blender Guru. If you want to make characters or objects move to tell a story, your path is animation. Look for tutorials or courses that cover character rigging and animating. There are many paths you can go into, and I currently won't be able to cover them all. So if you're interested, you can comment on your 3D related goals, and I'll respond with a summary of what you ought to focus on. I'll equally be sure to send you a few tutorials if I can find any, or make them myself if I can. I needed this discussion to be as short but informative as possible because, again, it's 2026 and a lot of us don't have the time for lectures. I would say this is the path that I myself took when starting with 3D. Bottom line is to have a goal, have the equipment to effectively meet that goal, and to execute the goal in actionable steps. When I started doing work in 3D, I thought I'd only need the software to make slight mesh modifications. Then, as different goals came up, I explored animating, weight painting, UV setup, texturing, and even scripting. But you have to note that it's the goal that drives this. Do not learn the skills you have no intention of using. Do not purchase programs or add-ons that you are not absolutely convinced will improve your workflow. Have a plan, stick to it, and hope for the best. Scale gradually. There are fewer sensations comparable to the one you get when something that's only been in your head becomes real. When your collage of poses plays out to become your first animation. When a render you worked tirelessly on gets mistaken for a photograph. Just from the satisfaction side, it's all worth it, let alone the possible financial gains you stand to make. That's all I have to say currently. I appreciate your seeking my advice. If you're a beginner, sincerely, I wish you the best in this journey. Remember that doing things repeatedly improves your muscle memory, making the journey a lot easier. For intermediate to advanced individuals, thank you for stopping by, as I equally wish you the best in your respective careers. 3D is not a shortcut, it's a craft. If you're here for quick earnings, reconsider. If you're here for the artistry and the possible earnings that come with it, welcome aboard. Thank you.